So Sunday we had people remarking that there was slight choppiness to the uh, whatever. So if you see problems, just leave it in the chat, and we'll keep working on it. I think it's something to do with the church. The church's internet connection.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Wanted to read just a little bit this evening on for our White Tara practice. This is a commentary. Jamgon Kongtrul, this great Lama of the 1800s, wrote a text that's been translated as Creation and Completion, Essential Points of Tantric Meditation. The translator is Sarah Harding, was really quite an accomplished woman who wrote this introduction to a commentary on Jamgon Kongtrul's commentary, how it goes. But I think very helpful. It's actually a serve this whole thing out for people who come here, because it's a wonderful her introduction is a wonderful kind of survey of Buddhism, you might say, but in a practical, for a practitioner, what a practitioner needs to know. And this is the little part when she starts on deity practice. It says Tibetan Buddhist spiritual practice centers around the deities in a devotional ritual and meditation techniques. It may be disconcerting for those who have heard that Buddhism is a non-theistic religion to discover an elaborate system of worship with a pantheon of goddesses and gods. It is for this reason that some other Buddhist schools have considered the Buddhism in Tibet to be corrupt or untrue to its original form. However, these deity practices are deeply rooted in the very foundations of Buddhist thought and represent an exceptionally skillful use of technique to evoke realization of those ideas on the deepest level. One can impute emptiness logically when an independent reality of the self or of other phenomena is sought and not found. One also experiences it directly through meditation when the mind abides without ideas of existence or non-existence or both or neither. Meditators experience emptiness as a kind of fullness. Emptiness allows for the unimpeded radiance of intrinsic awareness. The unimpeded radiance of intrinsic awareness. In the experiential sense, then, it is not only a lack of something, but also a quality of knowing or pristine cognition, a luminous quality that is the actual nature of the mind that can be experienced once the veils of concepts and emotions have been cleared away. This experience is often referred to as clear light or radiance, Odsal, and also as compassion. It is not something other than emptiness, for without emptiness it could not occur. It is the radiance awareness that is the primordially pure basis of all manifestation and perception, the Buddha nature. This very nature of mind was always already there and is never corrupted or damaged, but only covered up by confusion. As such, it is the basis of spiritual practice and also the goal or result. For this reason, Tantra is called the resultant vehicle, because the approach is to rediscover the result already within. Buddha is not found anywhere outside of the intrinsic state of one's own mind. In the traditional breakdown, then, of ground, path, and fruition, the ground is one's own true nature, the fruition is the discovery of that, and the path is whatever it takes to make that discovery. Jamgon Kongtrul described the identity of ground, the basis, and fruition when he says, and so this is a line from the text, Jamgon Kongtrul, the basis of purification is the eternal, non-composite realm of reality that fully permeates all beings as the Buddha nature, unquote. And then Sarah Harding continues, since every aspect of ourselves is intrinsically pure, the path can employ any method to bring us back to our own nature. The deities used in tantric practice are a manifestation of this pure nature. In one sense, they exist as a method to undermine our pathetic projection of ourselves and our universe as flawed, a way of connecting with our true human Buddha nature. At the same time, the deities are that nature. Due to the complex process involved in engendering and maintaining a sense of substantial self and of the world around us, we have lost touch with our basic nature. It is often explained that the actual emptiness nature of mind is misconstrued as a self, while the clear or radiant aspect is projected outward as a separate external world of others. As the confusion proliferates, the concepts of duality, feelings of attachment and aversion, and consequent karmic actions and imprints become self-perpetuating. This is called cyclic existence and is characterized by the experience of suffering. But the essential nature of emptiness and clarity has never for a moment been absent. So she goes on. I'm going to look at one footnote here. Let's see. Oh, it's just the quote that she did in the last there, not Jamgon Controls, but the last thing that I read of the cyclic existence is, quote, characterized by the experience of suffering. That's from Gampopa in the Jewel Ornament on Liberation. So Kempo may have taught on that the other Sunday already. So it's good for us to understand this. When Lama Dawa taught Sunday, it was such a clear exposition of, you might say, kind of the technique or the method that's happening in tantric practice. You know, she mentioned that we live in this unenlightened state where thoughts come one after another, right? And we chase the thoughts. And then there's this force. It's our habitual force that throws those, based on those thoughts, we have this, accumulated kind of momentum that can throw us into negative activities, which generate more thoughts, and the whole thing just continues. So the tantric practices on the inner way are this extremely subtle understanding of that process, and using the subtle body, not our gross body, but the subtle body. Whereas we learn to just let the thoughts go. We just don't involve with them at all. But we are doing this remarkable thing of moving our fundamental energy, it's lung in Tibetan, or prana in Sanskrit, into our central channel. So the understanding of the central body is that when our energies are flowing, not in the central channel, but all throughout these other 72,000 by one count, 72,000 veins and nerves that are permeating us, that they support delusion. They support these thoughts as being totally real. And this is the fundamental problem. Lama Tarchin said once, he says it's like a mountain, and there's a mountain lake. He says, but if the mountain goes away, the lake is automatically gone. That lake of suffering is supported by this mountain of this whole thing that we do, these projections. And so the tantric practice is going in a very inner way. And she boiled it down so beautifully, based on her own experience, that Garvin Pache's teachings that we're going to be doing on Wednesday nights by Zoom now, of this Vajra recitation, this Vajra breathing, it's like boils it down. Some of us, if you're like me, get totally overwhelmed when you go to an empowerment. You get this instruction on the whole mandala, and you're trying to visualize this vast thing. And of course, it's very hard. Some people do that kind of naturally, but if you're like me, it's very, very difficult. But Garvin Pache makes it so easy, because that letter hung, or whatever the seed syllable is of your particular Buddha, that is the entire thing. It's all there. So you can just concentrate on that. But you're aware of everything else, and slowly, the whole thing sort of becomes created like from the inside out, you might say. But you can have total confidence that if you are focused, relaxed, but in a one-pointed way on that seed syllable, you're doing the practice. I think one of the great things about visualization also is that when you see the instructions on a mandala, you understand, you get a sense of how vast realization is, and that this is a gradual path that we're doing. It's very easy for us because of the overwhelming nature of the thoughts and building a new habit. People get down on themselves unnecessarily. They don't realize that the problem is that the sentient beings are running around there. No one's looking at their mind. So when we start this process of looking at the mind, it's like for the first time, there's illumination. There's a ray of sunshine going through your mind. And of course, all the dust motes dancing in the ray of light. That's awareness. We're seeing how our mind is actually functioning, even in its delusive way. But that's more than the ordinary sentient being who is totally outward oriented, never looks at the mind at all. All the problems are out there, other beings doing it to them. And so you have clinging to the things that you might help. You have aversion and hatred to the things that challenge whatever ideas, and then you have ignorance. We have all these ideas that we think, We look in the mirror and we think that that's a real existence of us. But if you look in your picture when you were 2 years old, look totally different. Where was that? Where is that abiding self? So it's a very dynamic process, and immediately when you're doing these tantric practices, you've gone to the active, the mental role, and that's really, really helpful. We are practicing the results of realization. You're going right to the thing itself, and that we have all these supportive teachings and teachers is really wonderful. I think one of the great benefits that we have through Zhiravka is that, the Tibetans, a great master like Garinpoche, there are like no barriers. But most Tibetans, they have confidence in all of this. So in giving you, it's like someone has a headache and they come to you and you give them an aspirin. You have confidence in that aspirin. But, if they're from Borneo or something and they've never seen an aspirin before, they might want to have some questions. Is this going to poison me? How often do I do this? All these kinds of things. And we're like that with the Dharma. It's enough just to explain it. Like Lama Dawa said this weekend, you don't have to try to make it work. You just do it. So the Tibetans have that natural kind of thing. Even someone who's not a Dharmic practitioner, they're not at war with sort of faith in the Dharma. Just like we're not at war with physics. We all just accept it. Doesn't mean that there isn't questioning there, that there isn't work to be done and all these things. But we have a basic kind of understanding and a basic kind of confidence, and that's faith. So too for Dharma. So the more that we can understand what this process is, and this blending of moving your winds into your central channel, even a little experience of that, can be life-changing. All right, so enough of me tonight. Let's start with our White Tara passing the magic. Dragon machine, dragon voice machine.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's Sarah Harding.
Okay, White Tara Sadhana, page 1.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's Sarah Harding.
Namo Sanje Jodo Kungo Chomden Mar Doctro Kyapchi Jangchup Semkedo Namo Sanje Jodo Kungo Chomden Mar Doctro Kyapchi Jangchup Semkedo Namo, in the Mother Victress, the embodiment of all the Buddhas, Dharma, and Sangha, I and all beings take refuge and give rise to bodhicitta, the mind of enlightenment. Om Swabhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Swabhava Shuddho Ham. Bottom of page 2. I appear as the noble lady whose heart radiates light throughout the 10 directions, transforming into an indestructible protective sphere. Vajra Raksha Raksha. Once again, white light radiates to the Buddha fields of the 10 directions and invites the transcendent Victress Mother and the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. I prostrate with reverence and make inner, outer, and secret offerings. I confess all misdeeds and rejoice in all virtue. For the benefit of all beings, I beseech you to remain always. I dedicate all virtue entirely to perfect enlightenment. The field of accumulation dissolves into me. May all beings have happiness, freedom from all suffering, and unbiased equanimity. From within the state of emptiness appears the sacred land, the pure realm of the Akanishta Buddha field. Within Akanishta is a palace beautified by immeasurable precious woodland groves and exquisite garlands of utpala flowers. In the middle of the palace is a tom syllable in the center of a lotus and moon atop a magnificent jeweled throne. Light emanates from the tom, accomplishing the twofold purpose of others and myself. I then transform into the beautiful, radiant, white, wish-fulfilling chakra. My right hand rests in the gesture of supreme generosity, and my left hand holds a white lotus flower. Seated in cross-legged posture and endowed with the major and minor marks of a Buddha, my body radiates rainbow-colored lights. I am adorned with the 8 jeweled ornaments and 5 silken garments. Above my crown is Amitabha, and in my 3 places are the syllables Om, Ah, Hum. From the white tom syllable in my heart, light radiates, inviting the wisdom being resembling myself and the empowerment deities from the realm of Akanishta. They merge non-dually, and empowerment is bestowed and blessings are sealed. Ja, Hom, Bam, Ho, Abhishe, Kata, Samaya, Shri, Hom. Om Vajra Argam Padyam Pushpam Dupam Alokam Gandham Nividyam Shapta Praticha Soha. Homage and praise to the exalted Mother Tara, who liberates from all misfortune and at whose lotus feet all devas and asuras bow their crowns in reverence. In the heart of the transcendent Victress is a white wheel. At its hub is a tom with Om and Ha syllables to its right and left. The tom is encircled by my name or the names of those for whom I am dedicating the practice, and by the longevity mantra. And the 8 spokes of the wheel are the 8 white seed syllables, starting in front and circling clockwise. Their light gathers the blessings and power of everything animate and inanimate in samsara and nirvana. As this light dissolves back into me, I attain the supreme state of a knowledge holder with power over life. In the wheel's 3 outer rings, the vowels circle clockwise, the consonants circle counterclockwise, and in the outermost ring, the Ye Dharma mantra circles clockwise. As they rotate, rays of white, yellow, red, blue, green, and purple light shine forth, fill my body, and emanate outward in spheres. Between the spheres are fresh blossoms of utpala flowers, whose radiance produces the 4 activities: longevity, glory, and strength. tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye bushim guru soha. Om tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye bushim guru soha. Om tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye pushim guru soha. Om tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye pushim guru soha. Om tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye pushim guru soha. Om tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye pushim guru soha. Om tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye pushim guru soha. Om tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye pushim guru soha. Om tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye pushim guru soha. Om tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye pushim guru soha. Om tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye pushim guru soha. Om tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye pushim guru soha. Om tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye pushim guru soha. Om tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye pushim guru soha. Om tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye pushim guru soha. Om tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye pushim guru soha. Om tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye pushim guru soha. Om tare tu re mama ye jnana bunye pushim guru soha. Om Tare Tu Re Mama Ye Jnana Bunye Pushtim Guru Soham. Om Tare Tu Re Mama Aye Jnana Munye Pushim Guru Soha. Page 10. The mandala before me is a perfectly arrayed Buddha realm, lovely to behold. Upon a radiant Udamara flower sits the transcendent conqueress, whose major and minor marks blaze with splendor. She has one face and 7 eyes. Her right hand is in the mudra of generosity, and her left holds an Utpala flower. She is adorned with silken garments and precious jewels. Above her crown sits Amitabha, and at her 3 places are Om, Ah, Hum. Light radiates from the Tom at her heart, inviting the wisdom being resembling herself from Akanishta, who then is inseparably absorbed. Om, transcendent victress, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, when I invite you through the power of undivided faith, please come here and care for me with love and compassion. Om, Aryatare Vajra Samaya Jatishtalan. Om, to the noble assembly I offer real and imaginary substances, outer, inner, secret, and suchness offerings, water to drink and bathe, the 5 sense pleasures, flowers, incense, lamps, fragrance, food, and music, the attributes of royalty, the auspicious symbols, the prosperity and glory of gods and humans. I offer all these as oceans of Samantabhadra offering clouds. Om Aryatare Sapariwara Argam Praticha Soha. Om Aryatare Sapariwara Padyam Praticha Soha. Om Aryatare Sapariwara Pushpam Praticha Soha. Om Aryatare Sapariwara Dupam Praticha Soha. Om Aryatare Sapariwara Alokam Praticha Soha. Om Aryatare Sapariwara Gandham Praticha Soha. Om Aryatare Sapariwara Nevidyam Praticha Soha. Om Aryatare Sapariwara Shabda Praticha Soha. Rupa Shabda Gandham Rasha Sparshanam Ratna Mangala Puja Ho. I imagine Mount Meru and the 4 continents and subcontinents of their surrounding enclosure, the divine realms, the billionfold universe ornamented by Vairochana, everything owned and unowned. I offer all this to the transcendent victress, Ratna Mandala Puja Megala Ahum. The ground is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun, and the moon. By visualizing it as a Buddha realm and offering it, may all beings enjoy this perfect purity of this realm. Exalted Mother Tara and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas abiding in the 10 directions and 3 times, I prostrate to you with complete sincerity. I offer real and imagined flowers, incense, oil lamps, fragrance, food, music, and the like. Gathering of the Exalted Mother, please accept them. I confess the 10 non-virtues, the 5 grave acts with immediate result, and every misdeed of the mind controlled by afflictions from beginningless time until now. I rejoice in the merit of all virtues accumulated in the 3 times by the hearers, solitary realizers, bodhisattvas, ordinary beings, and the like. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the greater, lesser, and common vehicles according to the dispositions and mental capacities of sentient beings. Until samsara is empty, please do not enter nirvana, but gaze with compassion upon sentient beings drowning in an ocean of pain. May all the merit I have amassed become the cause of awakening, and may I soon become a glorious guide of transient beings. Om Svabhava Shuddha Sarvadharma Svabhava Shuddho. Page 20. Om. I prostrate to the noble transcendent liberator. Homage Tara, swift heroic, eyes like lightning instantaneous, sprung from opening stamens of the Lord of 3 worlds, tear-born lotus. Homage he whose face combines 100 autumn moons at fullest, blazing with light rays resplendent as 1,000 star collection. Homage golden blue on lotus, water-born in hand adorned, giving effort, calm austerities, patience, meditation, her sphere. Homage crown of Tathagatas, actions triumph without limit, relied on by conquerors' children, having reached every perfection. Homage filling with tutare, whom desire direction and space, trampling with their feet the 7 worlds, able to draw forth all beings. Homage worshipped by the all-lords, Chakra, Agni, Brahma, Marut, honored by the hosts of spirits, corpse raisers, Gandharvas, Yakshas. Homage with her tray and pay sounds, destroying foes' magic diagrams, her feet pressing left outright and blazing in a raging fire blaze. Homage to Ray, very dreadful, destroyer of Mara's champions, she with frowning lotus visage, who is slayer of all enemies. Homage at the heart, her fingers adorn her with 3 jewel mudra. And masses all excited, all directions wheels adorn her. Homage, she's so joyous, radiant, crown emitting garlands of light, mirthful laughing with tutare, subjugating Mara's devas. Homage, she able to summon all earth guardians assembly, shaking, frowning with her home sign, saving from every misfortune. Homage, crown adorned with crescent moon, all ornaments most shining. Amitabha in her hair knot, sending out much light eternal. Homage, she mid-wreath ablaze like eon ending fire abiding. Right stretched lip and choice surrounds you, troops of enemies destroying. Homage, she who strikes the ground with her palm and with her foot beats it, scowling with the letter home, the 7 levels she does conquer. Homage, happy, virtuous, peaceful, she whose field is peace nirvana. She endowed with Om and Svaha, destroyer of the great evil. Homage, she with joy surrounded, tearing foes' bodies asunder. Human knowledge mantras, arrangement of the 10 letters. Ture with seed letter of the shape of syllable hum. By foot stamping shakes the 3 worlds, Meru, Mandara, and Vindhya. Homage holding in her hand the hair mark moon of Deva lake form, with twice spoken Tara and Pay, totally dispelling poison. Homage, she whom gods and their kings and the Kinnaras do honor, armored in all joyful splendor, she dispels bad dreams and conflicts. Homage, she whose 2 eyes bright with radiance of sun and full moon, with twice Hara and Tutare, she dispels severe contagion. Homage full of liberating power by the set of 3 natures, destroys hosts of spirits, Yakshas. and res corpus supreme ture. These praises with the rude mantras and prostrations thus are 21. Om, you first formed the resolve to awaken before the victorious ones. You, their noble mother, fulfiller of their awakened activities. O swift and courageous heroine, Sarasvati, treasury of merit, all victorious, Kurukula, Yaksha princess, invincible, conqueror, Tara of the teak forest, queen of the three realms, bestower of wealth, granter of auspiciousness, benevolent heroine, vanquisher of enemy troops, frowning lady, universal pacifier, lady of blazing light, boundless subduer, great peacock lady, indomitable queen, hermit lady, goddess of light rays, obeisance to you. In you, noble Tara, I place my hopes to reach awakening, that I may free all beings from the ocean of samsara. To one who has true devotion to the goddess, a wise person who recites this prayer with faith, who remembers her in the evening and upon arising at dawn, absolute fearlessness will be bestowed. All misdeeds will be pacified and all lower realms utterly conquered, and one will be empowered quickly by 70 million Buddhas. Attaining greatness by this practice, one will arrive at the ultimate state of Buddhahood. By remembering her, even the virulent poison of plants or meat that have been eaten or drunk will be utterly expelled. This prayer completely eliminates the torment of afflictions of negative forces, epidemics, and poisons, even when recited on behalf of others. On reciting it clearly twice, thrice, or 7 times, those who want children will have a child, and those who desire wealth will attain it. All of one's wishes will be fulfilled, all obstacles will cease, and every hindrance will be destroyed. Noble Aryatara, through your compassion, the obscurations of myself and all beings are cleansed, and the 2 accumulations are completed. In every lifetime may unfavorable conditions arising from the 8 or 10 fears be pacified, and may Dharma practice, activities, and wealth increase. May all beings be liberated from danger and attain Buddhahood like you. In Aryatara's heart is a white tom encircled by the mantra garland. Its radiant light accomplishes the twofold purpose and increases life and glory. Om Tariture Mama Ayurjana Punya Pushtam Kuru Soha. Page 38. Noble Goddess, Mother Tara, you dwell within the realm of the unborn Dharmadhatu Mother. You who bestow happiness on all sentient beings, please protect us from all fears. Unaware that they themselves are Dharmakaya, my mothers wander in samsara with minds controlled by afflictions. Mother Goddess, please protect us. If the Dharma does not truly take birth in our hearts, we will follow verbal conventions and become deceived by erroneous philosophies. Genuine Mother Goddess, please protect us. Having seen the nature of mind, so difficult to realize, we do not habituate it but remain lost in negative activities. Mindful Mother Goddess, please protect us. Due to the habit of dualistic grasping at the mind that is self-arisen, non-dual wisdom, we are bound no matter what we do. Goddess of non-dual mind, please protect us. Although we have dwelt in the ultimate truth, we are unaware of the interdependence of cause and effect. Thus we are blind to the meaning of what is to be known. Omniscient Mother Goddess, please protect us. Even those of us who are disciples cannot see that everything is inseparable from the nature of unelaborated space. Mother of perfect awakening, please protect us. Om Aryatare Saparivara Argam Pratitya Soha. Om Aryatare Saparivara Padyam Pratitya Soha. Om Aryatare Saparivara Pushpam Pratitya Soha. Om Aryatare Saparivara Dupam Pratitya Soha. Om Aryatare Saparivara Alokam Pratitya Soha. Om Aryatare Saparivara Gandham Pratitya Soha. Om Aryatare Saparivara Nevidyam Pratitya Soha. Om Aryatare Saparivara Shapta Pratitya Soha. Homage and praise to the exalted Mother Tara, who liberates from all misfortune, and at whose lotus feet all devas and asuras bow their crowns in reverence. Om Aryatare Samaya Manupalaya Aryatare Tanopa Tishtadrita Me Bhava Sutukayo Me Bhava Supukayo Me Bhava Anurakta Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sitam Shriya Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavati Aryatare Mame Muncha Aryatare Bhava Mahasamaya Sato Om Aryatare Samaya Manupalaya Aryatare Tanopa Tishtadrita Me Bhava Sutukayo Me Bhava Supukayo Me Bhava Anurakta Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sitam Shriya Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavati Aryatare Mame Muncha Bhava Mahasamaya Sato Om Aryatare Samaya Manupalaya Aryatare Tanopa Tishtadrita Me Bhava Sutukayo Me Bhava Supukayo Me Bhava Anurakta Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sitam Shriya Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavati Aryatare Mame Muncha Aryatare Bhava Mahasamaya Sato. As you have forgiven whatever faults might have occurred due to deficiencies, incompetence, and the confusions in my mind, you will surely bestow true accomplishments on me. Om, please stay here together with this sacred shrine for as long as samsara exists. Remaining here, please bestow good health, vitality, power, and supreme attainments. The wisdom being in front spontaneously departs into space, and the Samaya being dissolves into myself. When gods and humans worship you, you grant them the cities like the kingly power of a victory banner's top. May the auspiciousness of the gurus and deities be present. By the virtue of my approach, accomplishment, and veneration, may transient beings quickly accomplish you. Exalted, transcendent Lady of Triumph, compassionate one, please remove the two veils of endless sentient beings and myself. Let us complete the two accumulations swiftly to reach complete awakening. Until that is achieved in all lifetimes, please remove and pacify at once all obstacles, evil forces, epidemics, and diseases, the various conditions leading to untimely death, bad dreams, ill omens, the 8 fears, and all harm, so that I may experience the highest joys of gods and humans and attain omniscience. Expanding and increasing the auspiciousness and perfect goodness of this world and beyond, let all goals without exception be accomplished effortlessly and spontaneously. May I be diligent in practice, and may the sacred Dharma thrive. Let me gaze at your exquisite face as I continuously practice you. Let me realize the truth of emptiness, and let precious bodhicitta blossom and expand like a waxing moon. When I am born from a divinely beautiful and sacred lotus in the Victorious One's excellent and joyful mandala, may Amitabha, the Buddha of infinite light, directly reveal his prophecy, and may I strive to attain it. O Goddess, whom I have practiced throughout all my lives, Mother of the enlightened deeds of all the 3 times Buddhas, blue-green with 1 face and 2 arms, you are the swift subduer. May the auspiciousness of the Mother holding an Utpala be present. Mother of the victors, Tara, may I and others become just like you in form, retinue, lifespan, pure realm, and excellent noble signs of perfection. By the force of praising and supplicating you, let disease, malevolent spirits, poverty, and quarreling be ceased, and let the Dharma and auspiciousness increase throughout the world and in all directions, wherever I and others dwell. Having discarded physical flaws, you possess the major and minor marks of a Buddha. Having discarded faults of speech, your voice is the melodic birdsong of a Kalavinka. Having discarded faults of the mind, you see all knowable things. O brilliant Mother of auspicious glory, may your auspiciousness be with us. Om Jigpage Kyo Mala Chak Chalo Trashi Babar Mala Chak Chalo Nyen Song Go Gek Mala Chak Chalo Tori Lam Dran Mala Chak Chalo Tag tu keki tong par de da dung duk jek yap tu sung. Om jik pa ge kyo ma la chak cha lo. Trashi pa par ma la chak cha lo. Nyen song go gek ma la chak cha lo. Tori lam dran mala chak chalo. Tag tu keki tong par de da dung duk jek yap tu sung. Om jika ge kyo mala chak chalo. Trashi pa bar mala chak chalo. Nyen song go gek ma la chak chalo. Tori lam dran ma la chak chalo. Tag tu keki tong par de da dung duk jek yap tu song. Om. Homage to she who protects from the 8 fears. Homage to she who blazes in auspicious glory. Homage to she who blocks the gate to the lower realms. Homage to she who guides on the path to the higher realms. You are my constant companion. I pray you will eternally protect me with compassion. O Mother of the 3 times Buddhas, who loves all sentient beings as a mother loves her child, may I become free from the iron shackles of self-grasping, and may my activities that benefit beings equal yours.
Awesome.
Pretty good, huh?
Frank, thank you for the
Thank you, everyone.
talk. I love when you go off like that. I wish you'd go longer.
There I go. Go longer. Go longer. Yeah, I know. Well, it's just very wonderful, you know. We've been very, very fortunate here.
The 5 of us.
Yeah, 5 books, you know.
7 of us.
We got all the right books. We got all the right teachers. That's
Amazing.
that's really special. Yeah, it really is.
I was talking to this heretic today.
Tirtika's the term.
What was it?
Tirtikas.
Thank you.
Guru Rinpoche was good with the Tirtikas.
There's a big difference between heretics and Tirthikas.
I know. And I know it was funny, Megan pointing me to that very first of the Jataka tales.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what's it called? Unexcelled, I think, is the title of it, or the Unequaled, something like that. And the Buddha, you know, his main donor, so enthusiastic, bringing 500 of his buddies with him, you know, and they're all just so moved by the Buddha and take refuge. But then they go back home and they all take refuge with whoever they had taken refuge with before. And so the Buddha, of course, knew this. But then again, it happened that Anapindika, I think it's his name, you know, brought all 5 of them together. And the Buddha just said, this is unskillful when you do this. Basically, you only have to rely on truth.
But the truth hurts.
They're hurting themselves. Truth doesn't hurt. Right? Truth doesn't hurt.
Start with that. There was lots of doors opening and closing, and none of them were the children. So.
There you go. There you go.
We're praying to Tara. We're really just praying to the nature of our mind that we're
We are Tara.
trying to have that direct experience.
Yeah. Don't try to have an experience.
No, we're not praying to anything
Outer than ourselves. Although it appears, because our mind is that way, all of this appears. And so when we're praying to Tara, it's the practice of pure vision. There are two different ways you can do it. You can do it in the sutric way, when Tara really is like some sort of outer appearance. You still know it's your true nature, but you're more focused on the outerness of it. But in the Tantra, it's the practice of pure vision. So you are the Buddha, in this case, Tara. The teacher's the Buddha. You're visualizing yourself as Tara, but when we practice pure vision, going around during the day, we're a bodhisattva. All the other beings are bodhisattvas. The sound is the sound of mantra. The place is a pure land. And the teachings that we're getting are the timeless Vajrayana. Yeah. So it's just this, it's by this understanding, even just intellectually, that we actually, this is why she was talking about the resultant path. Normally we're practicing, the whole Buddhist world is practicing the causal path. We are practicing the causes of happiness, the causes of enlightenment, the causes of Buddhahood. But the method is a little different here in that we're practicing the resultant path. Since we know we're a Buddha, it actually makes sense. You can kind of go to the end result. Except what do we have? We have fuzziness. I don't see myself as Buddha, or we think that we're fooling ourselves, or just as artificial. We have all these thoughts. And so they all come up. So it's really powerful because we have a method then to deal with them. For instance, in the text there, you notice how we visualize Tara, but then we, Zahung Bamho, we had the real Tara come because we just can't believe that that's Tara. The texts are so skillful. They've been doing this for thousands of years, and they just know all the tricks that people play with themselves. It's the hardest thing in the world to believe, I am Buddha. And interestingly, though, the method is such that we develop the qualities that are inherent, but we're strengthening them, we're habituating them. And so these are the qualities which work as cause and effect, which actually cause us to actually realize ourselves as Buddha, or at least even just, a moment of it. So it's so completely skillful because you don't get there except through this vast loving kindness and compassion and emptiness of the sutra. And this is the trick. This is the trick. And this is kind of the danger of it too. That's why Garbo Rinpoche has been criticized, for instance, for offering Yamataka practice out here in the wilds of America in this way. But like it says in the introduction of his book, which I know he says you can't really tell someone's motivation in that, and you have to do it. And in the end, everyone's responsible for themselves in that way. But that's where he quotes Guru Rinpoche, that, it's in the time of dregs, just all sorts of obstacles will arise and things will be upside down in sentient beings' minds. So you have to try. You have to try. So the wonder of it is that as we visualize ourselves as Tara, and Tara is there, we're practicing this pure vision, even if it seems artificial. It's all right. That's better than not doing it at all. And by visualizing in that way, the artificiality of it will go away. So, again, qualified lamas can give that kind of instruction, but sometimes they don't. They actually leave it up to the student to kind of work it out. You have this basic kind of confidence, and at least you're just following the text, but just not in a dry way, trying to put life into it, and you're doing, and you're continually learning and looking at all of that. The lamas know it will. It's like Lama Dawa said, it work. It can't not work. It just can't. So usually the challenge for most of us is confidence. We don't have perfect confidence at all, and that's all right. That's all right. We practice it. Everything becomes and it's all of one piece. So this is what's so wonderful about it, is that, if you're visualizing just that seed syllable, eventually the rest of it, your mind is calming down, less distraction, so you can hold more in your mind, so to speak. Again, just naturally relaxed, unforced. You see the skill. Sometimes you watch these pro basketball players, and you just think the unbelievable skill. If I were out there with that ball at half court trying to put it in a hoop, it's just ridiculous. I can't even throw it that far. And these guys do it all the time. How many times, though, have they done it again and again and again and again? So too for us. But the wonder of it is that we're on the path. The whole thing is just being on the path. One great Zen master who was deeply enlightened said to his students, you don't have to worry about even coming to realization in this lifetime. He says it's like someone who's doing all sorts of work, doesn't finish their work, but then goes to sleep and then comes and finishes very easily the next day. There's not much there to do. All of us, I can't see past lifetimes, but I just can't believe how fortunate the good things we must have done. Because even with all the stupidity, speaking personally, these things have manifested. None of us came out. This wasn't the plan of any of us. You know what I mean? No one said, gee, this is Drigan Kagyu, I'll do it that way. And and I'll find a teacher called Garwamch. It just doesn't work that way. All this stuff, like they say, when the student is ready, teacher appears. And this whole thing is Garwamche's mind. He doesn't even have to be here. So that's a tremendous blessing. We have homeless people wandering the door here. They get a blessing. They don't know it.
Frank, you've given us a blessing right there. When the plant is ready, sprouts appear.
There it is. Our magic plant.
There's another one.
Even our misbehavior towards this plant, it's still flowering.
That was the male treated plant.
That's all. I don't know. I really don't know. So anyway, we're just very fortunate, and these visualizations themselves they're not created things. These came from the realizations of great masters, Buddha himself, and so that's just such a wonderful thing, because you can rely on it. It's true, and you can test it, but it never stops being true. In fact, it gets more and more true, deeper and deeper true. Yeah, which is a wonderful thing. Yeah. Yep.
Great questions.
Yeah. Yeah. So Gretchen leaves tomorrow for California.
Oh, wow. Going to see Tracy?
Going out to see Tracy, for a week.
Early flight?
Well, not too bad, 10:09, but these days you have to get there 2 hours early, they're saying, because TSA is slow or not existent, who knows.
It's amazing how they took 2 hours to New York and 2 hours back in the but even in the 1990s you could do that.
Yeah.
Now brought everything to 12 hours no matter what.
Right. It's the time on the ground, it's slow.